Alright guys, back for another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about how my last DMT experience and how my integration is going with that. Just some observations that I've made along the way. I did it about 5-6 days ago at the time of this filming. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to discuss. Just going up to my normal spot. So just bear with me for a sec here. Where I shoot my videos. So my last DMT trip, that was probably like 2 months. 2 months in between medicines. Usually I was doing it every 2 weeks. And then I took like this break. We were in COVID, wife had a baby. Family's home all the time. Just everything just compiled together, so I didn't do anything for a while. And you know, and like about a month into that like 2-month process, like the intensity inside me was like steadily like dying down. Or every once in a while there'd be like friction in my reality, usually with my wife because I'm home so much. But like that friction went away and we're just like, it was like smooth sailing almost. There wasn't that much like progress on the path being made. Like I'd have my like, you know, I'd meditate while riding my bike or driving my car, or you know, I'd go inside, but it wasn't this like dramatic like right after you do medicine there's like a shift in energy, and then as you know, as the energy is like balancing out, it's working itself out in the external reality. So yeah, it was like a month of just like pleasantness. It's like kind of like flatlined. And then I went away, my camping trip, did some medicine, and then I came home. I ended up coming home first. My family was out, and then as soon as they entered the door, it was like I could feel like there was like a different energy in the air. And I didn't know what it was, but it wasn't like what I left. So we sit down, we're talking, and then it was basically, my wife's like, so my family saw your channel, and you know, they raised a whole bunch of concerns with my wife, and then so we talked about it a bit, and then she asked like for me to change my content. I'm like, well, I have no interest in making any other content. I'm just not going to do YouTube if that's the case. And it's like, well, at least can you change your name? Can you change your name so it doesn't match the family name, so it's like harder to be found, I guess. So it's not relatable to me like immediately. So then initially I was like, well, like, isn't the whole point of social media is to be found? So I have like my uniform with my Facebook and my channel and whatever else I decide to do down the road. And so I was having these like questions come up inside, and I was kind of just like upset for a couple of days. So just like, you know, I'm trying to express myself authentically, and it's met with like pushback from my own internal support group. This is like what I was telling myself. So finally 3 days go by. My wife and I aren't really talking that much. So I'm upset. So I'm just like not talking to her. And then finally I reach this place. I'm like, okay, I'll change my name. And then, like the name of my channel, I mean. And then she's like pushing me to like figure my shit out basically. It's like I haven't been working for quite a while now. So I haven't been providing any financial income for the family. So when I go inside to like figure out what I want to do, like I go inside myself to figure out what I want to do as far as like finances go, everything points to just keep going on the path, just keep pushing forward, just keep going. You know what I think I want to do, and it feels right, it keeps coming up. You know, it's like I can't commit to it because I don't know for sure. Like I don't know anything. So I'm finding it challenging to commit to it. But what I feel like I want to do is like serve 5-MeO. I want to serve 5-MeO to people. Like be like a 5-MeO practitioner and then have my YouTube thing, which it'd be cool if that like made some money too on the side. That'd be cool. So every time I try to tell my wife this, it's like it's not what she wants to hear. Like she's put up with this for a while. So I understand where she's coming from. Because to my wife's perspective, she was just like, she wants change. She wants me to like start doing something externally. And when I approach that question internally, it's like, just keep going forward, just keep pushing. But I haven't quite found a way to express that to her without her, with her understanding that point of view. I mean, she's been understanding. I'm not saying she isn't. It's hard to express something when I myself don't even fully understand it. It's just like there's not a drive to like go get a normal job, quote unquote normal job, like go work at Home Depot or go work at Costco or something. Like it's like that's just like I have like absolutely no interest in that. So I have like this like direction that I want to go. Then it all comes back to like just keep going forward on the path, even though everything on the path is telling me to just stop. And I'm getting like attacked out here. Another thing that's been happening internally is like I'm present with what is, and then I'll break off into like some fear, like I'm gonna lose my family. And then I'll realize that fear is actually like a breaking down of who I think I am. So there's like this cycle that goes around. So it starts, I'm going along, and then I like break off, and it's like shit, I'm gonna lose my family. And then I realize it's just a fear about me losing myself. And then it kind of like flatlines and like circles around, and then I'm like present again. And then it'll like circle around, it's like, well, what do I want? It's like, well, I want to be with my family. And then I am with my family. So I'm like, every time I break off, I'm like landing exactly in the same place again. So it's just these loops that are playing out. And these loops were happening faster and faster, and in like shorter like increments. And these, God, it's really sunny all of a sudden. And these patterns were like happening and closer together. And then last night I was out on a bike ride, and it was just like, I was able to see it, and it was like winding down, and then I was like, it like flatlined into just like, it's right now. It's happening right now. And then today I woke up and there's like, those patterns aren't happening. So thank you, because it was like excruciating. But the trip I'm talking about, the trip I'm talking about, I'll link it in the description below. It was just the last video that I posted. But it was basically like me going along, and then God kept nipping at me. Like the Josh ego self. I'm going along on my trip, and then God kept nipping at me to like dissolve or to like just succumb to the experience. And that's what I feel has been happening. Like I got home, and immediately like my external reality, which is my wife in this case, just like nipping at me little ways. But my perspective is like she's like the enemy, and she's not the enemy, but you know what I mean. Like she's my external reality, like nipping at me to break down. So then finally I just like, what happened in the DMT trip is I just, fine, I'll just dissolve into it. And that's kind of what happened. I just like succumbed to the experience, and then I changed the name of my channel. So it's like just like trusting that reality has your back, or my back in this case. So yeah, that's really it. This is just a short one, I think. Just a short video. I am looking for like a place to... I tried to set up a studio in some way. I wanted to work in my garage, but I'd have to build an entire room. That's a lot of energy and resources to do just to make a YouTube studio. But I could just find a new spot, because coming out here, I'm in like the sunlight, and I can't color correct. I'm working on it, but the sun just gets blown out, and plus there's a 2-week period where I didn't film anything. I'm just like kind of at the mercy of the weather as well, which I don't really like. Sometimes I just like, man, I want to share this right now, but I don't have any space to do it. So I'm looking for space for this thing. I'm looking to create some type of cash flow in my life. That's what's going on with me. Alright, that's it for now. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe for more content. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.